A woman just won a $50 million lottery, but the first thing she did was find someone to remodel her RV. She asked the workers to replace the RV's outer shell with explosion-proof alloy steel, the same as a bank vault. All window glass was replaced with military-grade bulletproof glass. The workers were puzzled by her exaggerated requirements. Some even privately suspected she was a fugitive wanted by the police, but only the girl knew the apocalypse was coming soon. She had to prepare for survival. However, the interior space of the RV was limited and could not hold massive survival supplies, especially the problem of fuel storage. She knew very well that in an extreme cold apocalypse, once the RV lost power, it would instantly become a cold iron coffin. Suddenly, a crisp mechanical sound rang in her mind. The system prompted that she had successfully unlocked the exclusive RV space. Because she had completed the full protective modification of the RV, the system rewarded her with unlimited storage space for the RV. She immediately took out her phone and placed crazy orders on major online shopping platforms. Then she drove to the food wholesale market. She directly bought out all the stock of an entire butcher shop. The workers loading the goods were very curious about why the RV could never be filled up, but when she took out a thick stack of cash, everyone fell silent at once. Finally, she spent all her remaining savings to buy a large number of self-defense weapons. She wanted to make sure she had enough ability to protect herself when facing zombies. On the day before the apocalypse arrived, she looked at the fully stacked supplies in the space. An unprecedented sense of security surrounded her. She knew clearly that she already had the capital to survive in the apocalypse. She opened the surveillance to check the surroundings. Everything was normal on the street. Just as she was about to turn off the surveillance, she found a man dressed in black not far away. He was staring fiercely at her RV. A loud alarm went off in her heart. The apocalypse had not even arrived, but the evil of human nature had already been exposed in advance. She immediately started the RV and drove to the suburbs overnight. The next day, she was woken up by the cold. The temperature inside the car had dropped to -10 degrees Celsius. She realized the extreme cold apocalypse had arrived. The whole city was completely covered by white snow. She knew very well that this blizzard would not stop. The temperature would only get lower and lower. A person would freeze to death if staying outdoors for just a few minutes. Just then, an emergency alert popped up on her phone. The broadcast strictly prohibited all citizens from going out. There was an even more terrifying news. Someone had witnessed highly aggressive zombie-like creatures. The authorities warned everyone not to open the door for strangers easily. Before long, her archenemy from her past life called her on a video call. In the video, the woman was staying in a luxurious villa and hypocritically asked about her situation. She cooperated and wrapped herself tightly in clothes, pretending to be shivering from the cold. Seeing this, the woman looked extremely proud. She kept pointing the camera at the sumptuous food on the dining table to show off. The girl casually threw her phone aside and turned to pick out her breakfast for the day. She knew that in a few days, the whole city would completely lose water and electricity. People would completely lose their sanity, and the crime rate would skyrocket. She recalled what had happened to her in her previous life. She had won a large amount of coal at the company's annual party. No one expected the extreme cold apocalypse to come suddenly. She relied on the coal to stay warm in her house, but that woman had led a group of thugs to rob all her supplies and shelter. In the end, she was devoured alive by a horde of zombies. As she ate, she recalled the scene of being killed in her previous life. She stabbed a steak hard with a knife. She swore that in this life, she would never let the person who betrayed her go. After breakfast, she began to routinely check the RV's safety system. Outside was still a vast white expanse. Several bodies frozen into ice sculptures lay in the snow. She used the remote camera to check every dead corner. Suddenly, she found that someone had marked the RV's body with red paint.